As a result, it's important for the winning managers, if you will, I think will be the ones who are able to make tough decisions, whether it's resource allocation, whether it's talent organization.
What would you say? How is the asset manager of the future looking, and what's key for the kind of future asset management company?
First of all, is the asset manager has to learn about the client, and the client is telling you where we have to go. Another component is of course the regulation. I mean, that is a framework we are. This is a playground we can work with. But I see really the bride of the asset management industry if we are able to implement the transition, and if we are able to fulfill those requirements, and we should also be looking for new product, and I really like the term, not product. We would like to name it solutions for our clients to come up, and we need to really think out of the box.
Yeah, I think it's very true. I think client is centric, and we need to live the fiduciary duty. We need to understand what the client is really in need of, whether it's going to be regulation, it's just simply yield, or if it's just taking care of their direct investments in a very professional way. And you can only do so by not just saying, well, whatever you want, we do everything for you. I think that's over. That's not going to work. I think you have to be true to yourself and also say, this is the strategy that we can really manage for you professionally, and here are my USPs. And then you can go all the way through the due diligence until the very end, and we will prove every point. That's a strong need. So we need to be able to answer every question up front, and the institutional investors in particular need to rely on your capabilities and guide them through this changing environment of regulation and all the megatrends we discussed, and ESG, of course, coming on top. And we are here to support, but clearly not in every asset class. So you need to be honest to yourself and say, well, okay, if you want to go for that asset class, maybe I'm not the best one. So maybe you pick another one. And I think that's also where trust comes from. And then clients come back to you and say, okay, hey, you have been true to me, and so I trust you also on this asset class because you have proven to me that you can really manage that.
Yeah. For me, it's as this group discussed, it's a new likely macroeconomic regime. So it's going to be a different environment over the next decade or longer, as Nicolas mentioned as well. Again, out of disruption comes opportunity. I go back to that. And in my opinion, the future of asset management is bright because there is going to be new needs. But at the same time, I think the job of the management teams is going to be tougher. As a result, it's important for the winning managers, if you will, I think will be the ones who are able to make tough decisions, whether it's resource allocation, whether it's talent organization. I think like we have seen in the maybe post-GFC, where there has been a reshuffling of the industry, the league tables have changed. We have seen an emergence of new types of firms. I think probably we're going to see a similar shakeout, and I think the management team's job is to take the team to the Champions League.
I think the asset manager of the future won't be so different to the asset manager right now. We have to put together these different output and input factors, ESG, automatization, AI, and in the end we have to have our people and our clients in the back. I think that's important, client-centric, employee-centric, to be more something like a model for them and not be outside of the company. And I think what would be really interesting to put our sales force to this new world, because they are not on the train right now. They are probably behind the train. Hopefully not under the train, but they are behind the train. And that's always the biggest thing, to get the sales force out there with these new things.
I would say that the asset management should be probably bolder than we used to be because of this challenge, and probably the client will need to be guided even more than in the past. And I think that what I mean by bold is that I think it's very important that we have very deep exchange to make sure that what the client is asking you is very much what the client needs, or how we can help him to go to the next step. it's a little bit a comparison where today, in the past, when you went to the doctor, you were saying, okay, I'm having a pain here, I have this, and now you're going to the doctor because you Google and say, oh, guy, I have a flu, or I have the COVID, or I have this. Can you give me the medicine? So I think it's a little bit the same. I think that we should be able to be much more partner with the client, challenge the client even on his need, and this will require a lot of, I would say, capacity to adapt the way you approach your client. I think that's going to be crucial, because I think definitely it's going to be much more difficult going forward.